Tesla are disrupting almost every industry we know, from cars to airplanes. Elon's mission just wouldn't be complete without taking on the boating industry. And whilst cars turning into a boat is something we have only seen so far in the movies, like something from The Spy Who Loved Me in 1977, funny we should mention that, because that exact vehicle shown in the movie was purchased at the time for only $100 by a building constructor and his wife. Then, after some serious cosmetic restoration, the vehicle did a world tour, displayed in exhibits all over the place, before finally being put up for auction in 2013. Who could have won this auction? Have you guessed it yet? Let me give you a clue. Who has a spare $1 million and is into this kind of thing? Of course, it was Elon Musk. This particular vehicle was the influence of many of Elon's dreams, and so it only seems right that he should own it. He has even said on Twitter that the Cybertruck design was influenced by this exact car. After all of this, Tesla have their eyes on the boating industry, and it could be happening sooner than we think. Before we get into all the details here, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel because this is literally the only way to keep up with Tesla. Anyway, all the evidence from Tesla at this stage is pointing to an amphibious car, a cruise ship, or even both. This video will go over it all and tell you what could be about to happen to the boating industry. Tesla's goal, as we all well know by now, is to fast-track the world into using more sustainable energy. So they have taken all modes of transport into account: cars, aircrafts, boats. The electric vehicle transition has exploded over the last couple of years in particular. They accelerate faster, make less noise, cost so much less to maintain, and will soon be cheaper than the typical combustion engine. Oh, and obviously they're better for the environment. But this kind of transition hasn't begun in boats yet, and it should. Did you know that 12% of the estimated CO2 emissions are from marine traffic in Europe? Anyway, why haven't boats gone electric yet? This is all to do with the science behind battery density, but as that continues to improve, why not take on boats too, Elon? The few electric boats that do exist have actually demonstrated already that they are far superior to typical combustion engine boats. But there must be some issues, otherwise everyone would be doing it right. Batteries in boats seems like a no-brainer at first. Imagine cruising along with little noise or that smell that comes from combustion engines. After all, the point in boats nowadays is to enjoy the sea air and experience as a whole. Well, the reason this hasn't really caught on is because the physical barrier of weight. Boats are so much more weight sensitive than cars. In an electric car, air resistance and weight play little part, unless you're Lewis Hamilton, I guess. When it comes to boats, the resistance comes from surface friction to the water, which comes from the surface area of the boat. The surface area is a function of weight. As the battery density increases to a point that it could power a boat, the weight continues to increase, and this could throw the balance of a boat right off. For years, this barrier has stopped battery boats from catching on, but, as we say, batteries continuing to improve, so it's becoming more and more realistic. Many boats have actually started to use Tesla's batteries already. Take Pure Watercraft, for example. These guys are using batteries from Panasonic. These have an energy density of 165 watt-hours per kilogram. But this, in the world of battery power, is actually rubbish. The Model 3's battery density is closer to 260 watt-hours per kilogram. See the difference? That's 57% greater than Pure Watercraft. The extremely low battery density that Pure Watercraft use hasn't actually stopped them from being able to achieve really high specs on their boat. Their pontoon boat has a maximum speed of 14.5 miles per hour, but if you're cruising at under 10, this boat can go for hours, which, let's face it, is what you want from a boat ride, isn't it? A nice, long, gentle cruise. But at its top speed, it'll last a little under an hour. Pure Watercraft's base boat is even more impressive. It can reach speeds of 25 miles an hour and can last for an entire day. The founder of Pure Watercraft has said that after a tournament, the base boat was out from 6 AM to 3 PM and still had 25% capacity left. So it seems that this battery boat thing could catch on, and it's proven that a startup company embracing technology is propelling them into the future. Get it? Propeller? Boats? Anyway, the way in which a startup has achieved these high specs with pretty low energy density is just amazing. Elon has said that a battery with a density of 400 watt-hours per kilogram is likely going to be mass-produced in the next 3 years. This is a 142% increase on pure watercraft. So simply put, this would be the head start they'd get on pure watercraft as an example. And they're already out here doing it. That's why if Tesla gets involved in any industry, they'll stir things up. And if it is possible, they might be able to take over the boating industry like nothing we've seen before. Tesla's entrance to the boating industry could even go way beyond boats. I'm now talking cruises. On average, a large cruise ship uses a huge 250 gallons of fuel per day. This pollutes water, so it's bad for the environment, and not to mention, it costs a huge amount of money, slowly eating away at the company's profits as they're going along. Now, it's not likely that these long-world cruise trips will be disrupted anytime soon, but the shorter trips might well be. Tesla's battery research partner Jeff Don has previously discussed how his high lifetime battery has a huge potential to disrupt shorter ferry trips. Electric ferry boats make so much sense economically, not to mention environmentally. The first operator of electric ferries is an organisation called Amphibious. They have reported some extremely impressive business stats over the last few years. They claim that they have cut emissions by 95% and costs by 80%. Now these results are huge, but imagine these ferries with Tesla batteries. I know! Another electric ferry is Elon. They recently had some groundbreaking results. They had 2 electric motors in a 4.3 hour battery pack. Elon's electric ferries can cover 22 nautical miles. This is huge. The biggest concern with electric powered anything is what if you run out, right? Especially if you're in the middle of the sea. Well, Elon's project coordinator has explained their backup plan for this too. He says, if you lose a battery room or have to shut it down for some reason, there will always be enough energy left in the other room to sail back to harbour or do all the emergency procedures that could be involved in an emergency at sea. But what we all really want to know is Elon serious about amphibious vehicles? They are one of the most exciting to see in action movies because they just seem impossible to achieve. But we have to remember, Elon blows our definitions of impossible right out of the water. Get it? For him, anything is possible. He actually already has a design for an amphibious car. Again, it's The Spy Who Loved Me that has inspired all of this. As Elon mentioned, there isn't really a market for it. We don't all drive around thinking, oh, I wish I could just take a dip in that lake. That would really help me out. But they do actually make sense in more everyday driver's life. If you take a clip of cars stuck inside the water, you can see the Model S actually swims through the water. Now, I know what you're thinking. Electricity and water sounds like a recipe for disaster, and normally I'd agree with you. But Elon is obviously steps ahead of the game, again, and all of Tesla's technology is waterproof. On Twitter, Elon has explained that Tesla works as a boat for a short period of time because an electric car has no air intake or an exhauster block. He also said that the Cybertruck could float for a while, but when he responded to a boat version of a Cybertruck saying, I think we could make that work, no one really knows whether he's joking or not. Yes, it's far-fetched, but it's exciting to think it might be on the cards one day. Tesla at the moment are restrained by battery technology, so we can't see a Tesla boat being launched in the near future, but we're sure we'll see it one day. Let us know in the comments below if this is something you'd like to see and what you think could be next from Tesla. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, but for now, anchors away!